Throughout the course of the Incredible Hulk's life, his rivalry and conflict with Bruce Banner has largely been at the forefront of his time both in the MCU as well as on the pages of Marvel Comics, constantly clashing with his alter ego, as each tries to take full advantage of their time and control of the body. Perhaps one of the Hulk's most triumphant adventures, wherein he saw the most lucidity, was his time on Skaar, which in the MCU granted him 2 full years of complete autonomy. He had full control of the body, had a life of his own, and even, as revealed in She-Hulk, a son. Since Bruce Banner himself, however, has no memory of this or his time on Skaar and has no idea what the Hulk was up to during this time, it has left us fans to speculate as to what kind of danger the Hulk got himself into. Primarily, the presence of a son implies that the Hulk had a wife as well, which wasn't thus far been revealed in the MCU. However, she will likely be revealed later on. In the comics, his wife is not only a compelling character, but an absolute force of nature that can rival some of the Hulk's feats of strength. So, stick with us today, watchers of the Marvel Multiverse, and let's discuss the life and legacy of Kyera the Old Strong. Born to the shadow people of Skaar, Kyera was among the most powerful individuals in her race from birth due to an innate connection with the planet of Skaar itself. From a young age, the mages in her village came to realize that she could communicate with the fabric of the world on which she lived, and this indicated to them that she possessed a strong connection with the energy field known as the Old Power. On Skaar, few individuals are able to tap into this source of immense power, and it allowed Kyera to augment her already incredible abilities to superhuman levels, essentially being empowered and charged by the planet beneath her feet. From a young age, she trained in the art of both armed as well as unarmed combat, growing into one of the most formidable warriors of her time, and at a mere 13 years old, Kyera was able to fend off the king's forces when her village was attacked. Later, however, it was revealed that the Red King orchestrated the attack and allowed her village to become infected, which later drew her into imperial custody. In order to maintain their independence from the king's rule and allow themselves to operate without imperial oversight, the Shadow People offered warriors to fight at the behest of the king, honoring what was known as the Shadow Treaty. This eventually led to Kyera not only being freed from her king's imprisonment, but made his direct bodyguard. She quickly rose through the ranks of the empire and was directly responsible for the oversight and training of several gladiatorial champions. As the direct overseer of the battleground, she quickly came into contact with none other than the Incredible Hulk, who was now under her direct responsibility and custody. She trained with the Hulk in order to harness and focus his strength in gladiatorial combat, using weapons effectively and channeling his strength in a way that went far beyond the brute force approach that he had favored for so long. What she was unaware of, however, was the rebellion brewing beneath the arena, as warriors had begun banding together and planning a revolt against the Red King. And who should be at the head of this rebellion but the Jade Giant himself. The Hulk roused warriors in secret until the conflict erupted, and his forces directly faced those of the notorious Red King. Throughout the early stages of the conflict, Kyera remained loyal to the empire of the Red King, and not only fought against the Hulk, but held her own and posed a challenge to the Beast. Upon learning more about his side, however, she ultimately switched allegiances and stood by the Hulk's side throughout the remainder of the war. After the fall of the Red King, Hulk became the new, undisputed king of Skaar, and one of the first acts of business was to commission a new treaty with the Shadow People, who offered the Hulk Kyera's services as a bodyguard, much like she had previously done for the Red King. The Hulk, however, declared that he wanted her as a wife, to which she agreed, and the two were wed. In the MCU, however, we know that this wasn't in fact the case, and the Red King who ruled over Skaar was not in fact present, or the one who held the contest of champions, but it was instead the Grand Master. And we likewise know that the revolt didn't take place until after the Hulk had already left Skaar with Thor as well as the Revengers. This means that this exact sequence of events did not take place as they were described on page, but the character may very well be largely the same, and Kyera may have been present off screen. After the fall of the Red King and the marriage between the two, the Hulk allowed her to meet Bruce Banner, stripping away his insecurities and laying himself bare before her. While they ruled with benevolence and vowed to prioritize the safety and prosperity of Skaar, their reign was short-lived, as the shuttle on which Hulk arrived in inadvertently detonated, seemingly killing Kyera in the process. Amidst the chaos and calamity, the Hulk returned to Earth in order to enact his vengeance on the Illuminati, the group who had exiled him and who held responsible for the detonation of the ship. It was only after he left, however, that Kyera and Skaar's fates were truly revealed. Using the old power, she was able to bond with the world around her and use her strength to not only protect her, but her son and several others as well. However, this would tax the ultimate extent of her powers. After ensuring her son was safe, she became one with the world around her as her mortal form dissipated, and her spirit was imbued into the very energy of Skaar. This was not the end of Eckardt though. Here, she was able to guide Skaar as an astral form, with her consciousness remaining tethered to the ashes of Skaar, even though her body had long since died, and she could voice her advice and emotions to her son from beyond the grave. In the comics, Skaar also has the ability to tap into the old power, an ability which he inherited from his mother, and one which makes him incredibly formidable. Her final death, however, would prove to be at the hands of Galactus, who encountered the ruins of Skaar in search of nourishment, and he ultimately devoured the defenseless planet, and what remained of Eckardt, the Old Strong. But anyway, my friends, what do you think of the story of Eckardt the Old Strong, the wife of the Incredible Hulk? What do you think we can expect to see from her in the MCU? And do you think that as of now, she's still alive on the big screen somewhere? Or has her story played out and her death followed the birth of Skaar? Would you like to see Eckardt make her debut in the next few years in a World War Hulk film? And if so, when do you think it will happen? As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching and continuing to support the channel. Hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and I hope that you have a great day.